Hello everybody, Average Gamer here, and welcome to a quick little video here I wanted to do. So I had a lot of people asking me questions recently about early on goals that you should have when playing a nation. So I thought I'd do a early game goals. What kind of things you should have kind of set up as goals early on in the game to kind of figure out what you want to do and what you're going to do. Give you also the ability to then do anything you want to do. First thing I always say, this is going to sound weird, but pay off your debt. If you have debt, pay it off. Sell stuff. Do everything you can to get rid of that debt. The moment you can get rid of your debt, you're laughing. You really don't have to worry too much about anything. You can get rid of stuff. You're not paying that interest back, which means you're not paying more for what basically the game took out for you before the game even started, basically. That's one thing I always tell everyone. Always pay off your debt at the beginning. Number 2, self-sufficiency. Make a goal early on in the game to become self-sufficient. Be able to produce all the goods you need exactly as you need them. Meaning, for example, if I produce 100% to demand, I will have exactly everything I need. If I go to 200, say 110% of demand, that means I am now being able to obviously, export a lot of things. For example, here as Vietnam, it's 2021, so we're only a year in. We're self-sufficient when it comes to agriculture. Self-sufficient when it comes to rubber, though we're not really using that much. Self-sufficient when we come to timber. Self-sufficient when it comes to oil, coal, metal. Kind of with uranium, though, to be honest with you. You'll notice we actually don't utilize any uranium. We also don't actually produce uranium, so that's a moot one. Electricity is always a biggie. Consumer goods is the only thing we are currently lacking on. Industrial goods, because we're actually doing a lot of construction, and military goods. So the last two here, industrial goods and consumer goods, are always things you want to worry about later on. And what I mean by that is you can always increase the cost of consumer goods to offset the demand for them. But what you want to do really is get these 8. These 8 things right here. So you want power, uranium, metal, coal, oil, timber, rubber, and agriculture. You want them all self-sufficient. Once you get self-sufficient, you can then start exporting and making a significant amount of money. Once you do that, you can pay off your loans, pay off everything, and even start buying stuff. So for example, playing as Vietnam here, it's 2021, as I said, we've only been playing for a year. We have $151 billion already in the bank. We're researching. We have 2 research facilities only right now. We're in the process of getting ready to research our next power grid. And we're working. We're getting things done. We're slowly working through all these things to get this nation way up on where it needs to go, where it needs to be, and things like that. Like I said, one of the major problems with this nation, or at least I find, is the fact that there's no uranium at all. Closest uranium is in southern China, which actually is southern China. So, you got some little bit of issues and things like that. Yeah. So self-sufficiency is another thing. Number 2, don't piss off anybody. Try to kind of stay neutral. If you see trade deals that may or may not take advantage of you, look at the nation and see if they're related to you. The further a nation is from you, the less it's affected by you, and vice versa. Same as your, I'm going to look for it here, your intelligence academy and your security bureau. These buildings, the further away your spies are, the more likely they are to be found, not do their job properly, things like that. So you always have to put that into into a good idea, so to speak. Let's see here. What else? Financially, early on in the game, you want to become financially independent, obviously. Don't worry too much about your inflation. your overall tax rates, your GDPs, and things like that. Because you're going to have a lot of time in the mid game to work on that stuff. Early on, you just want to get as much money into your accounts, into your coffers as you can, so you can pay off those debts, pay off those buildings that you need to build, buy the resources you need to actually build those buildings. One of the things I'm going to tell you early on in the game, industrial goods is life. Industrial goods is life. If you can stockpile as much industrial goods as you can, you are laughing. If you can bring in 2, 3, 4 million tons of industrial goods and still have, say, $20 to $30 billion in your coffers, you can build just about anything at that point and laugh. As long as you don't go on a massive spending spree and you build at a decent pace, a steady pace, you should be fine. I think right now, we're not building any agriculture. We're not building any... Wow, really? We have only 6 rubber plants. Good to know. Are we building any timber? We're not building any timber. I'm looking to see why, for example, as my nation, why our industrial goods capacity is so high. Opposite or voice to money. We're not building any uranium. We don't have to build it. I think I'm building or repairing something. Nope, no coal. No small coal. Ah, there we go. We're building 6 hydro dams. That is why we're spending so much. Okay. And we're building them up there in Viet Tri. That's why. Okay. It's been a while since I played this game, this playthrough. But yeah, so the thing is, right? Like what I'm doing right now with my industrial goods, this alone, these 6, the other one's down here, by the way. These 6 hydro dams are going to give us a ton of power, and the best part about hydro dams, they don't use anything. So early on, if you can build a lot of these hydro dams, you are laughing. Looks like we're also building 3 research facilities over here as well. Looks like that's... Oh, we're building something over here. What are we building here? We're building a supply depot there. Looks like we're mostly working on the north from what I can see. Sorry, I'm also clicking in a little bit when I do this. So yeah, so it looks like we're doing okay. We're doing okay, but most of our industrial goods are going towards these hydro dams. So yeah, self-sufficiency, industrial goods is a big deal, and money early on. Once you get those things going, what is this? Oh, synthetic rubber plants. Once you get those things going, you're laughing. If it's this, the Cold War era, not Cold War era, whatever era, you'd be surprised as to how good and how fun and how easy it is. Once you get the proper base in place to slowly build your nation, you can actually grow your country in any way you want. Once you get that base down, usually it'll take 30, 40, 50 hours to get the country situated well enough that it's making bank. You are making money from trade. Most of your income is coming from trade. Your country is paying low taxes. It's paying low prices for things. And basically, your GDP is in the hundreds of thousands, in the millions. Your tax rate and your inflation are really low. But one of the good things about this game is nothing's ever perfect. Industrial prices may go and all of a sudden skyrocket, and then all of a sudden you may get an economic crash, for example. Always got to worry about those things. So, sturdy foundation in the first 20 to 30 hours of the game is always good. Once you get things settled and get your nation all settled up and self-sufficient and producing enough that it needs, you can then start growing in the direction you want. If you want to go military, no problem. You need military production facilities. You're going to need uranium access or uranium production. You're going to need a uranium stockpile. You're going to need naval facilities, air facilities, missile facilities. Well, those are all going to cost you money. So a good economy at the beginning that's earning a lot of money from trade, earning a lot of money from taxes, from obviously selling domestic products, will support that very, very well. Doesn't really matter your government, really, at this point in the game. That kind of sets up whether you'd go through elections or not. But with that in mind, so that is just a quick little rundown of a good way to set up a foundation. So once again, industrial goods are life. Self-sufficiency is the key to a great economy. And obviously a rich economy. And I can't remember what the third one was. Self-sufficiency. Oh, power. And power is the second part of life. If you don't have enough power, your country's going to fall apart. Rubber is the next thing as well, actually. Access to rubber. If you don't have access to rubber, you don't have the ability to get rubber, you're bound. This game has two hard things that are always hard to get. First one is rubber. Second one is power. Power, on the other hand, as the game goes on, it becomes ridiculously easy to control and have access to. But rubber is the hardest part. We're lucky enough here in Vietnam that we have the ability to get rubber. And we have the ability to then, if need be, go to war with Malaysia. And take the rubber we want. But that's going to be that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye-bye.